Hi, FAB L'Style. My name is Harriet Hala, Editor-in-Chief of FAB L'Style. Welcome to FAB Street Talk. What's the talk on the street? Well, we're about to find out with my guest. The topic is about life before and after Corona for the creatives. And my guests are Susanne Hoffmann, Alamande, Belfor, and Daniela Procopia. Welcome to the FAB Street Talk. We are hosted by Daniela in her beautiful home. We would really love to thank you for giving us an opportunity to be in such a lovely home, and the setting is absolutely amazing. I think if I tell everybody around the world, they will be so jealous, because I could never imagine anybody living in Chambron, the Chambron, you know, this Sisi house, if you know who Sisi is, the most photographed house in the world, Chambron, Vienna, Austria. So, how has the Corona crisis affected you? Your work, your life, your creativity? We can start off with Daniela, our host.
Yeah, this is good. First of all, thank you for being here. Of course, I will open this house for you guys. Because I know you are very valuable people, and I know you have so much to talk with people, just because I see you so.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to study about someone, but just look at them, and we can make we have to develop this kind of gifts that we have, the human being we have. So, super welcome here. I'm an artist, I'm a singer, composer, and this coronavirus, I think it's everybody's getting crazy with this, because we have to face our demons. When we are in home, when we are with our families, we are far from our companions, from the which one we talk the truth, and we have to face all the kind of relationships for real, you know, things that we didn't face yet, and we had to. So I had to also, my husband had a problem. We found in the end of February, we found him a tumor in the esophagus. So can you imagine, we had the virus outside, and we had here inside, so it was a super time of fragility for us. And then what happened to me, I started to write, because I was out of performance, I couldn't perform. And then I stopped it, and I sit down, and I started to write. I opened about 40 archives of Word. So I made active time. Because the most, I call my friends in Brazil, I call my friends here, and they were like, oh, I cannot do, I'm depressed, I'm confused. And I said, I have to do, because I cannot face it. I have to give my time some magic time, that I can go out and I can do something for real, not only for me, but for us. So I compose in Italian was the first, and then Portuguese, English, a little bit. I tried a little bit of Deutsch, because I'm lerne Deutsch, and it was now 28 for 30 lyrics done, and about 15 to 17 lyrics and musics, and we are already recording it.
That's amazing. So you have been active regardless how it's been going on. Your husband having, discovered out that he has a tumor. Here we are, we've got quarantine. We're supposed to be locked in. So do you think it was a blessing in a way that this happened in such a quiet time, where you as a person and your husband, think about gently and kind of find a different healing?
Yeah, you are so right what you're talking, because we can take it as a curse, or we can take it as an opportunity to align what he's doing, what he was doing that was not wrong. Because before you have the physical disease, you have a mentally, poor my husband, no, he's so lovely.
Bless him.
But there's a disease before the body. You have the energetic body. What is going on wrong? So we had to sit down, we have to develop this, and I think it was the best time, because he had to stop. So all the world stopped together.
Stopped together.
We are blessed. We are blessed.
What do you think, Susanne? How was it with you?
For me, this time was very, very different, because I work in 3 fields. I do a kind of site profiling, meaning that I know to find out the best shape of a person. and of course people were not really willing and able to do something on their side, and that was just the wrong moment for it. Yeah? The second thing is I run an online platform where you can rent luxury dresses, so definitely also the wrong time for it.
So sustainability was quite affected in this area.
But on the other hand, I'm running a network called Success Ladies Network, where you are also
I'm one of them.
I'm very happy to have you.
I love it. It's such a great idea, Susanne.
And this network really made a big boost in that time, because after these first few days where everybody was shocked and irritated and was looking for their loved people and for their relatives and so, then there came a kind of peace, time of peace where you can slow down and relax, and then you find out you have time for making relationships. So it was a good time for chatting. It was a good time for saying hello, for phoning, for making phone calls or video calls to people you usually do not call on videos or something like that. And especially in this network, all the women, we found out, well, first of all, we made a WhatsApp group with all these jokes. There were so many jokes at that time. And this was horrible, so we had to focus them on the special group on WhatsApp. The second thing we did, we found out that movement and sports is helping us. So we founded a special group for making fitness, and we made on every day at 5 o'clock in the afternoon we made a fitness class. So everyone wanted to join us, logged in, and we found out the first time we had a little bit problem to find out the real media for it, because of when somebody talks in Zoom that the screen is jumping to the wall.
Getting customized.
And all the other women are talking. It was chaos at the beginning, but then we found out the real rules for it, and it was big fun, and it was a kind of routine for us. It was routine, it was social contact, it was sports, and it was a lot of fun. So this helped us to make it easier this time for us, and we found out that we are really moving closing together. So it was something really warm together. And we made a third thing, which we had one times a week. We made a kind of mental lesson together, and this was really, really nice in this time. And for me personally, I really used this time, this peaceful and totally slow down in my life, because everything else was stopped, to sort out my life. So it was at the time for making a check, what is too much, what is missing, what is wrong, what can I move. So this was a very good time for me, and the longer it takes for me, the slower and the less noisy everything became. So I stopped Facebook, I stopped Instagram and everything, and I enjoyed it so much because it was just me.
Wow, it's so good to hear that even from such, a virus or an epidemic, we could still, have positive things happening to us, because this was just all over the world. It wasn't a country or a village or a city. It's absolutely great. And Alamande, tell us about your time.
Yeah, for me it was also, it was a surprise. But actually I was busy. I'm a creative director, event manager, I'm a choreographer. I also teach dance. And I was busy with 3 events. So in February already the client said he's going to stop the event because we had to fly in people from abroad. So it was like, I'm always flexible, because I always think everything is in God's hands. So whatever happens, I don't care. Okay, but he was the first. The pandemic, it just went to Italy, where he said, I think we have to stop this event. And other people were like, no, we're gonna do it, it's in June, this thing will be over. So he stopped it first, and we continued with the whole event. So I was like, okay, super cool. But then everything was stopped. 3 events, a commercial, everything gone. So
in one go.
It was like, for me, but I came from a background where we learned to live with less. But a lot of things happened. So I moved to another apartment. We had a bigger apartment, so we moved to a smaller apartment. I sold a couple of things. It was important to really reduce the cost because back then we heard events we're going to start in September again. So it means we would have had like cost, and it were like, if it's only the rent, 24,000 euro.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I have to reduce all these costs to the minimum. And okay, no more events. So my second income is our club. That's Big Smart Club.
Yeah.
Dancing, and I really tried to put a lot of time in it. Like, okay, how can we make this work? You know, also for the youngsters that we have, for the adults that we have that bought like a membership or a tent ticket, or you know, how can I still deliver service?
Yeah.
So that was one part of the whole thing. But the most important thing was, I think, my relationship with God. I had one thing, and it was like to come closer to God and to really have this relationship, really talk with for me, with God, to really, put everything in order. I'm not perfect.
So you had a moment with God through this situation.
Really moments, you know, to really pray, take my time, even nothing's going on, I'm at home. So that means, and it was, for me, it was good. Because what I want to do, I want to hear God's voice.
And that's what He also wants from you.
Exactly.
From my understanding, from my nursery school teacher.
You know, so I had a lot of time to really try to learn to listen to God's voice, and it means just what is my heart saying. Like for me, it was important to read the Bible, you know, to when certain times come, you know, to really try to, okay, everyone goes to the right, but He says, Alamande, just go to the left, go to the left. And so that means God's voice is totally different as the voice of the media, the voice of people who are like going hectic, getting hectic. I was trying to really like, God, I want to just be in relationship with you, and I'm not afraid. My life is, I don't care about it so much. I don't worry, because all my worries are just give to God. That's in a short, you know, very fast.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I mean, there's something somewhere in the Bible where it says, seek God first before you do anything, and everything will be added to you. I know, a little fast in the Bible. And obviously this is what He requires from us, to seek Him before anything. But I think we get so busy with our lives, for those who believe you know, in the Bible or in the Word, that you pray or you read the Bible, but as soon as you're done, you close it and you leave. So it seems like for you, you use this opportunity or this time to say, I don't want to listen to you on the go, but I'm just going to use this time to totally give myself to you and hear you speak to me.
Exactly.
Now that sounds amazing. What do you think? Now, I mean, has the Corona-19 changed your views on life in any way? It has for me, but it will be so interesting to hear from either of you.
Yeah, well, in my case, like we have to be total human, and to understand, because this virus doesn't bite yellow,
Green,
red, green. This virus eats everyone.
It's a little nasty thing.
It's a nasty thing, and what I got so aware, because with these medias taking lots of fake news, it's so clear how they try to manipulate us, how they hide something about, we cannot talk about 5G anymore because they cut your YouTube channel, you cannot, the 5G, you cannot talk about New World Order because they cut you. So I started to realize how massive manipulated the mess that we are. Unfortunately, we belong, for more than we are intelligent, we came, we studied, and we are a mess from such a high power, and we are manipulated totally on this way. So I believe I like the Bible, and I read it, but the Bible is only 2,000 years. We are here for so many millions of years.
Yes.
So this is not you read the book, you read the book of Enoch or everything. You can really search for really more information. And now they want to how can I say dominate? They want to dominate us, but what they did, these guys who dominate us, they gave us time to be at home, studying and knowing about how we are.
Or maybe finding out about ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because
This is the first, yeah. If you don't know yourself, you're lost. This is the second stage, or the third. I don't know.
For me, I don't know in what dimensions we are dominated or directed or whatever. What I realized, or I became aware, is how much we are linked together. Yeah, that this world is really small, and how quick one move here is
or there,
and there,
it's
and
noticed.
how much. And this virus was very, very interesting and very a very unfair virus, because if it was for example something really dangerous, then it would be easier, yeah, to handle this virus. But if we have here a period of 2 weeks where everybody can have contact and infect another person, so this is really a really difficult situation. Yeah. And for me, what changed is that I think people got more aware of that this world is one environment for us, yeah, and it is the job of each other, of each single person of us, to do its part and contribution to make it more simple and make it to something which can have a chance for have a very long humanity here.
Yeah.
Meaning sustainability, all these climate changes and other things.
Yeah.
So it is, I think, everyone has to do this single contribution for this, for making a change.
It is quite necessary.
Quite, in my branch, for example, it is also this for the fashion. Well, I am in the fashion branch. There is now no new name for in similarity of slow food. There is fast food and slow food, and there is fast fashion and slow fashion. So just the thinking of slow fashion, meaning having a kind of second hand or reuse the thing or share the things or rent the things. So this is something that people are getting much more, and all these overvalued brands of these top brands, international brands, this is something which has no basis, no reality anymore. Yeah?
That's really interesting. And Alamande, you basically touched a bit of this from the beginning of the conversation. You know, again, how would you describe how you feel you have been affected in terms of you, your family, what you're seeing around, the creativity which is going on from every other person, or how people are responding towards this crisis we've been going through? I mean, we are open in Austria, we are so blessed that we can go on. But how do you think it has affected either you or what is around you?
Affected me and people around me and humanity.
Humanity, what is around you, basically.
I think for everyone it's been like a time of stop. At first, like Susanne also said, and Daniela also said, sorry, reflecting first, who am I as a person, because you have so much more time for yourself. Who am I? What are actually my strengths? What is my strength? What can I do? But especially in a time like this, a lot of people have realized, okay, what am I doing? What do I do for work, for living? Is it something what can sustain me through any, let's say, crisis? Is my work, that what I do, can it carry me through a crisis? Should I change my work? This is business-wise, to keep on living, to put it like this. And as a person, and then even if there's a question mark, how should I live to survive a crisis? I think these are the two things with a lot of. These are the two questions that a lot of people ask themselves. What I can imagine, I didn't make a poll to ask people, but
I think we should ask.
but
Yeah.
you know, what I do, can I survive a crisis?
Yeah.
And if not, how am I going to survive a crisis as a person? And and that for me, you know, that for me back is somewhere to a source. In this crisis was for me, you know, finding a source what is very, what I can trust, what is trustworthy.
Yeah.
What I can say, with this source what I have, nothing can happen. You know, a lot of people went, you know, I got some phone calls, you know, gold, you know, just invest in gold in a moment or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
Everybody's
nice.
talking about
Super.
this.
But I also have my question marks there, like gold, I mean, you know, or, you know, there were different things. For me, I went back to the source. That's why I went back to this source, and it's for me, it's a strange thing to always talk about, but I always talk about God, especially at this moment, because it gives me so much power, so much, my self-confidence is being strengthened because I know this power, where people doubt about it because they don't know this source so much. This is my source, which gives me strength, what makes me think like, okay, you know, I will go through every crisis. I just want to hold.
Yes.
I want to get to know this source, this, for me, this loving God, you know, better, you know, to go through every crisis.
It's interesting for you. It is God. For me, it is the love.
Yeah.
For me, I'm someone who I think there is a kind of system of resonance. So, and in the way you move or you think, you feel, you act, the same feel and act you get back. So,
Yeah.
and I am someone, if you are positive to other people, you love other people, so you will get it back.
Yeah.
So, and this is for you, it is God, for me,
Yeah.
it's love.
No, for me it's the same because
But it's one,
Yeah.
because
But
you know,
it's one.
God is just the way we say and how we call God in so many different ways. But God is love, God is kind, God is pure, God is awesome. So it's the way we express each other. So you put God and you put the whole weight of awesome, of everything under, and you put God above and you say love. Because if you love another, surely you're godly, because that love is not something which will just come flying out of the air and just be part of you. And I love to love, and I live to
Yes,
love.
for me, I have
You
this
know?
network. For me,
Yeah. Yeah, I can live without love. Or at least I fight for love, you know. And then for people, you know, us who have kids and everything, it's like, you know, we put all that love in there and we are hoping that that love comes flying for us. But you still find that you've got so much love to give everywhere. And I mean, she is just so lovely, you know. I love Susanne Hoffmann. And then I met Daniela, and then I thought, oh my God, you know, I was hit by a hurricane. And him, Alamande, he is Mr. Love everywhere where you meet him.
The thing is, what I think is people we put love or goddess a little bit far away from us. This is illusion.
But you know, some people are afraid to laugh, to say I love someone. You know, it's like, you know, it kind of degrades them. No, come on, love. It's the most amazing. I don't love in secret alone, you know.
Especially here, like in Brazil, we say to people, I love you.
Yeah.
We say a lot in Brazil, I love you, I miss you. We express.
Yeah.
Here in Europe, people doesn't express so much, but we feel anyway.
Yeah, when we meet them, we do feel them.
Can I just
please.
just very short about love. You know, people measure things with, okay, if I'm fast, I measure myself with someone. You know, like the fastest runner or my neighbor or my classmate.
High performance.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be, but you compare.
You mean assess them.
Yeah. Like a benchmarking, you know.
You say like a Ferrari, you would say I'm fast
You know,
outside.
my car is fast, so what do you compare it? You know, and love is something we say it's a word, but what kind of meaning does it have? Oh, I love this person, but I hit my wife, or I cheat my husband, or I, you know, I don't know. You know,
We
so
are
for
humans.
me, I know we're humans, but if you say love, what measures do you have? You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why I say, for me,
divine
you just spoke about love. For me, this God is for me the ultimate thing of love, but because he expresses, he puts exactly, and in his word, what is love? What should love mean? You understand? So it's the same thing. If you really believe, if every person really believe, like for example, in how God really is, even if you believe or you want to do what he says or not, you know, because some people want to, they know, okay, there's a God, or let's say there's a president, but I don't want to do what the president says, you know, I want to do my own thing. But just imagine, God, the president, is, for example, love, and he says measured. Love is kind, love is this, love is, you know, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I talk about love, when I talk about God, for me, I talk about to love to the extreme.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is, for example, jealous. Everyone envies. Everyone is impatient. You know, but love covers it. So that means if I have this feeling of, for example, a jealousy coming up, like, you know, I have to cover it with love.
With love.
And that is, how are you going to do this? And for me,
It's your origin.
and for me, it's just to finish it, for me it's like, I just talk to myself. Because I want to put love into this jealousy. Because no one can tell me there's no jealousy.
No.
You know, you know, but how are you gonna, how are you gonna fight against jealousy? Deal with it, exactly. And that's, for me, it's like, I talk to myself, hey, I have no right to be jealous. Let this person be happy. I don't know, you know, so I talk to myself to bring this up because, you know, that's bringing life into balance by putting, you know, spreading it always with love. Wherever there's impatience, I'm impatient. Why is there such...
I was impatient today, yeah.
There's a line, which is wait, and I talk with love, you know, because I know what God actually wants from me. You understand? Just to
No, it's
explain why it is God, why I always go back to God.
Yeah.
Just an
with his love. Did you see this corona coming? I mean, I remember I came back from Christmas and they said, oh, there is this flu, you know, coming from China, and then it kind of reminded me of that chicken flu. So I thought, oh, another one. You know, I didn't take much, you know, pay much attention to it and everything. And as you know, in Austria, we've got this big influenza, January, February there and everything.
Yeah.
And one of my sons got it. And he had fever quite for a long time, and then they said, oh, you better take him in because it could be this flu from China. And I'm like, yeah, my God, has it arrived here? But talking about that, it was a very bad influenza because actually he was one of the first few who was tested for the coronavirus. And that's when it hit me. But after that, when they said he was negative, I didn't think about it again. And really 1 week before they closed off, it was like, oh, the corona is coming, oh, Italy is eaten up. Did you see this coming? Did you see the whole countries being closed off, you know, lockdown, staying at home? Could you imagine that in January, February?
I think it was, well, I think you have to see it from 2 points of view.
Yeah.
Basically, I think there happened something what never ever happened before. Since the second or the first one.
Yeah, since the 100 years
so
or
we
more or
are
less here.
definitely not used to something
We
like
didn't
that.
leave it. We didn't leave this.
Yeah, we didn't leave it. So definitely, I think we were all of us, we were surprised. Yeah, and it was the dimension of it was something which was surprising to us.
Yeah.
But if you say, did you see it coming? Now, when we look back, we had this feeling that there was something wrong in the world. I think everybody now says,
I still have this feeling.
there is something it is too stressed, everything, and everything there's too much negative power, whatever.
High performance,
like a force power.
And maybe some people have the sensibility to feel it. I had it a little bit, but I couldn't, of course, make it into words or whatever. But it was a big surprise for me that everything came like it came.
If the media does something, you can have a feeling this is wrong. For example, the media comes with something, you know, projectors on your screen, and you listen and you think that, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. You know?
Yeah.
We all need to educate ourselves. We all need an extra voice, because if the media says something, that's how the media earns their money. The media earns money with looking at their box, so that they can project some.
But I think we've learned it. We have learned what we had to learn. Yeah, I think it was something totally new for the human beings, for everyone. It was totally new that there's this danger that we didn't know about how to handle it, how dangerous is it, how is it really working.
Yes. They should have educated us maybe a
So
little
now
bit more.
now we are 4 or 5 months wiser.
Yeah.
Around, yeah. And so I think that now we have to do the right things, because now we found out what is going on and what will it affect on human rights or whatever. Yeah. Of course, was affecting human rights in a very deep sense. But at that moment, we had to decide for one left or right.
Yeah.
And it was necessary. Everybody left, everybody right.
Right. Yeah.
One way. Yeah. And I think I have not it's not my right to make to charge them now for what they did, but they did. Yeah. And we did it well in Austria, but of course it will never be again the same thing. So when they're coming a second wave or whatever, we have this experience now.
This is what I want to talk about actually,
Yeah.
because since a couple of days everybody's talking about the second wave, and I am a very positive person. But you know what? I was a bit also quite ignorant when they were talking about the corona like a week before it closed, but at the same time I could feel the seriousness about it. Now, everybody's talking about the second wave, but the funny thing is, since we've been opened up, and I will confess, I'm one of them. We've been out, we've been kind of happy. The masks have moved from our, front pockets to the back, to the back pockets. We are doing a little bit of catching up, and as you can see, that we really need one another. We need togetherness, because we are so happy to see each other. It's amazing, social contact, to interact and everything. But Daniela, tell us, when you hear that there is a second wave coming, how do you feel inside you?
No, it's funny, because we didn't finish the first one. Let's think about the first.
Totally.
Like, okay,
talking about
I agree with what he said about, and you also about how to deal with things, but I come from Brazil, so I can imagine. So when the way we dealt with the thing here was so amazing. I saw the Prime Minister on the internet saying, we are a team, and everybody, I remember the party guy I know, the heaviest party guy, I called him, said, how are you? Because you get worried about these people. He said, no, I am home alone, I don't want to see anyone because I really obey. So people from Austria, they were the Austrians, we made it together. Super. And I'm so proud of it. So proud of it.
So we should make the next one. What should we do?
We should take care of me. I am in quarantine still now. Yeah. But now I'm seeing the people from the Brazilian people fighting each other, fighting with the government, without the government. They are above the politics. They have right and left, and they are not thinking about the human side. So this is a big time and big opportunity to finally Brazilian people get more human, because there's a lot of
it's a very, very big country. Frankfurt, we live in a country like this, like Austria, but it's so huge. But
we want to go out, we want to touch, to dance, to kiss. How can you stop?
We've been brought up like that,
Thank God we are like this, but in this time, so it's a huge. I know people who died already, from Brazil, from the lovely friend that made my manicure. She's dead. She was a super gym girl, so I have my heart destroyed.
Is it from the corona?
From the corona, and my cousin is there. I just saw one of my cousins is fighting for life. So this is a virus who exists, who is of course super exaggerated on the medias, on the TV. We cannot. What you asking me now? We cannot be slaves for the media, television.
The media, we always talk about the media. Many times we point fingers to the media, but without the media, actually the news would not reach us.
But what kind of news?
Well, you have to choose. You have to choose which news.
So you go to open media, you go to YouTube, you go to Telegram.
And there are people who actually open like 20 medias in maybe 30 minutes, and then they decide what is right for them.
Yes.
So maybe we could say we need less media and just listen to less, because sometimes less is more. But I think this has taught us something. What do you think it has taught us as a society? You know, in quick words, what do you think it has taught us as a society, this coronavirus?
You talk with me or what?
Any
I'm
of
still
you?
thinking, it is a big question.
Yeah, Alamande, what do you say? What do you think it has taught you or us as a society?
Well, as a society, it's taught me that we're just followers. Most of us are followers, so we don't have our own opinion. We don't have our own opinion. We're just like, okay,
I think that's great.
you know, no one has an own opinion to say like, okay, you know what, let me go and make research for myself. You know, and that is something what is so important because no one knew anything about this sickness, but okay, there was a lockdown, but in the meanwhile, we stick to this.
Yeah.
I wonder if the government, if the media can say, hey, I'm sorry, I think this was a bit wrong from us. But no, they would never do this.
Of course.
They would never do this. But they could say, for example, hey, I'm sorry, it's not that of a big problem, you know, it's like less than we thought, you know, but everyone always tries to, you know, and try to defend their state, their opinion, like, you know, the position, but our position changed. When I scream at you, or, you know, I can say, hey, sorry, that was wrong. You know, I didn't mean to scream because, you know what, I just came by bus, my car broke down, this and this and this, and I was so, you know, so I made a mistake. So the media will never draw back of something what they had to bring up like fast, because we need to produce content. It doesn't matter because we have people like sponsoring us, you know, so we need to have people watching, you know, but yeah.
So we could say that also the economy plays a big role in terms of when it comes to the news or to the media in order to inform people or to reach more people.
Yeah, it's God, it's how people say it's love or money.
Yeah.
I think it did show me that democracy only works in a society which is well educated and is taking responsibility for what they are doing. And if a society is not well educated enough or not willing to take
that.
Yeah, I mean like this to talk the same that she was talking.
Responsibility for what is going on, then it's better to have someone to follow, you know? And this is what you say, they are followers. So people, they are still not willing to overtake their responsibility for the rights of democracy. But this will mean that they have to work on their own.
Exactly, you're so right.
For getting the information. Yeah?
That's very
Which is
interesting.
necessary to make your opinion. And this is for every little thing. For every bar, for every poll, whatever. Yeah.
My family came from education. I came from a family who rules a university. So for me, being educated, you can go to every society if you know what you're doing. It's like it's the base. So it's just what I want to complete what he said about this and what you said. It's so perfect. Like what I learned from all of this in the society, it was a kind of frage.
Yeah.
So the frage, the answer is, more we are inside the society, more we have to be educated, more we have to study, more we have to be responsible for our own acts. And then we're going to be not a follower, not a sheep.
Yeah.
We're not going to put when the television puts you like when we're like a duck, then it puts you food, and we accept everything. No. Because we study, we know what to do. No, I was talking bushes. I will not believe this.
Do you know, Daniela, I think for today, the FAB Street Talk has been absolutely the best so far of all the talks. And I believe, because we have touched so many subjects, love, power, we are going to continue on these subjects to follow up with the same guest and see where it takes us. I feel so motivated and empowered. And when we talk about education, this is fantastic because FAB believes in education, educating one another. Thank you so much for having us, for hosting us, Daniela. Thank you so much, Susanne, for being here.
Thank you for
Alamande, thank you so much.
Also.
Behind the scenes, thank you so much. We are really, really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for proposing this wonderful program. this wonderful conversation. Thank you for being special beings and for bringing two wonderful friends.
Thank
have
you.
such a clever and lovely view of life.
Do you know, I know this is finished.